Hello, everyone. My name is Victorious, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you, Ma, for this opportunity to present myself and talk a little bit about my best interest. So, I do want to ask a question. It's rather a silly question, but how many of you are irritated by children? Think about that question. Okay. I have three kids, so I know I know what it means to be a mom. But the reason why I ask this question because we were all once children, and you know how it felt to be a child. And where I'm going with this is I want you guys to see children as infinite possibilities. The future belongs to the children. Whatever you do, the smile you give to a child, you don't even know who that child is, a strange child, the positive energy you radiate, the safety you bring around them, that feeling doesn't go away. It's embedded in the DNA of a child. Because there are some people that you go around to, and if you remember as a child, you don't want to be around them. You run away because they have such bad energy. But then there are other people that you come around, they smile, they play with you, they ask you how your day is. Those people are people that give us hope and joy and bring a reason to come around. Wherever a child goes and they are happy and they go there more than once, there is joy in there and there is peace in there. So I want to remind everyone, as we are all adults, remember to be hopeful towards children. Now, let me take you guys a little deep into my childhood. I grew up in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, a proud Nigerian, because our ways of things are quite different from how people do. But Nigerians are relentless. Anyway, growing up in Nigeria at 3 years old, I had an injury. The injury was on my left arm, and my parents didn't know what to do. We were shuttling back the orthopedic hospital. My mother was pregnant with my younger sister. It was such a chaotic time in my life when I remember that. And I remember we had to go to the hospital so many times. There were other kids that scared me. Some of them had a broken leg and the legs were hanging up in a plaster or POP, like they called it then. And there were some that had a burn so bad that the eyelids were all burnt out, no ear. And these were children who had suffered one trauma or the other. And I had never seen a child that looked that deformed, and it scared me. And but gradually they will come around my bedside and tell me, "Hey, let's go play." The ones that could walk and could run around, and I would leave my bedside, my bed, and we'll go to others with their legs hanging. We'll give them high five and play with them. So gradually, from having trauma and from having this disability on my left arm, where I couldn't bend my left arm, the bone had deformed, to seeing other children who are also deformed as people I could play with, as people I could relate with. And somehow in that hospital in Nigeria, I told myself that when I grow up and I become an adult, I would make sure that I give children hope. At that time in Nigeria, no one ever came to the hospital to say, this situation is not going to overwhelm you. This is not the end of your life. You have so much more in you. These are things that I now do. These are things that I now say to other children, especially children who have disability, because they are the ones that discarded. In my culture, people look at people with disability as, we don't want to deal with you, but that those are the ones that need the most love, even if the child doesn't have a disability. But just loving children, remembering that they're going to grow, they're not going to be that way forever, and they're going to come out to the other side and be a whole human being who is capable of making decisions, capable of handling themselves. So again, As we go into the corporate world, we do see people with disability, maybe some with unknown disability or a limitation. I want everyone to have a soft spot in your heart where you treat people with love, with kindness, with generosity of your words, but above all, bring hope to children. Some people don't like children, some people don't want to deal with children. I understand that. But if you don't want to deal with them, that's okay, but at least bring hope. Tell them something nice because you never know. You never know what the future brings for them. And I one thing I do with my kids is during Christmas, because I'm here in the US, we go to different hospitals, like children's hospital. I'm in the Frisco area. We write cards for children and we write a message of hope because they need to know that this situation or the condition they're in is not going to define who they are for the rest of our lives. As a child looking into that horizon, I used to feel so hopeless. I'm like, is this hand gonna take me? Is this all that I'm going to be? A problem child with a left arm that is broken? Can I see that there's another part of this? And there is. And as I grew up, I became a mom. I challenged the status quo. I worked at Citibank, and at Citi, we embraced disability. I used to speak on different panels for disability because I owned that. It's my life journey. Here in Frisco, sorry, I digressed a little bit. We would go Christmas time, write those love notes for children. I would encourage each and every one of you to, first of all, be kind to children, be a safety space for them. Remember that you were once a child and you would have loved that for yourself, and encourage and give them the possibility as much as you can for the world. And please write a love note for a child anytime you go to a hospital, or maybe if you decide, you can just drop off a love note to, I think, the care coordinators. They give them to the children. So that's my story, and I thank you guys. There's another corporate side of me where I do events and stuff like that, but this is one of the most core of me because I live this story, and I just wanted to share that with everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your attention.